What's up?
It's been so long since we've gone live that I forgot you
Yeah,
did that.
we had that. I had taken bass music and I think I made that in After Effects or
I don't
something when
know.
I think I made like a quick little thing in After Effects or something. But it has been a while since we went live.
Yeah, you went going live
Um,
and the thing went and I visibly got
y-
jump scared.
yeah. I'm just sharing this. This will be released as an episode for anyone that tunes in at any point, and it really won't be edited because that's kind of the point
Live.
of this thing of like what we're here to talk about and discuss is that like it's not going to be edited. Assuming Facebook isn't working on PC for people because I know it's been having issues. If anyone even tunes in, I wouldn't be surprised because it's been so long since we even
Right.
posted anything.
There's gonna be like, oh, these
Um,
people? No way.
yeah, which is again the whole point. This won't be very long, like maybe 20 ish 25 minutes.
It's something.
Because
That's for sure.
because I need to get at least like an hour and a half of work done before I go to bed. And prepping on a couple other things before I go to bed tonight. But
And I have to go to sleep.
yeah, Sam has to go to sleep. But we wanted to do something really quick to explain the month gap. And then we had talked about a relaunch already, but like we've made progress at it. But like I figured it was a good time. We might as well just go live, re-talk about stuff really quick, and then explain the gap, and then explain the future gap. The main reason for the gap, which there's one aspect of stuff I can't talk about publicly for like well, not legal reasons, but like in that realm of like I can't risk talking about some stuff just because it wouldn't be a good idea potentially.
Yeah. You tell
Yeah.
them.
But then the other stuff was like I've been dealing with a massive tooth pain again, and this time it's not going away. And I've been to like the dentist twice already, and I have to go again in like a week and a half, and they're gonna like adjust the mouth guard I'm using because they think that it shifted and it's causing issues with other stuff. Um, so they're not really too sure on what's going on, but
I said just take out all your teeth. Bruce will make you new ones.
I mean, it would work. It honestly would work to just. I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. I
See?
guess is like the probably the best way to go about it.
Just saying.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
We have those connections.
We do though. But like, so it's been harder to like talk for long periods of time because the pain's always there. And there's only so much I'm willing to like push through it. And so hopefully like the thing that they think is wrong with the mouth guard and all that, and they do their
Mm-hmm.
adjustments and all that, hopefully that is literally the issue, and then by like middle of June I'm fine. But like between this like the lack of episodes and lack of posting and all that stuff, like it we were trying to like double record. We were like recording episodes and then like recording stuff for the relaunch, and it was just like way too much to try to double record. So starting when this airs, which will be, I think, the first end of May, which is a good timing, that it's like the exact end of a month.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go on another break, but this one purposefully.
We planned it.
This is planned until at least ideally July 22nd. We're already doing research on finding people to design a new intro and outro, logo stuff. I have plans for like actual like different shows that'll be like YouTube like stuff. Like I mentioned before, like I want to grab on, see if the intern has time and do like the worst video game related movies and do like a series of like YouTube episodes just about like every video game movie ever made, and we start from the worst to or like maybe the best to the worst or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And we just like, and it's just like YouTube, Patreon stuff. And it's just like we watch something and then we all get together and talk about it and do like a little review YouTube show and so like different stuff like that. And stuff I want to do. And so like we have plans in place for like different shows to do, and we're also gonna like niche down the show. So instead of kind of being like darts at a dartboard. It's going to be more centered around like guest interviews, but only if they're like if it's a guest that like isn't related to like super fandom, then like it might just be like a YouTube video for them. Like we'll still try to do those because it shines light on like people that deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Might not be like a podcast episode. It might just be like a YouTube thing. And or like really specific discussions on different fandoms, like finding people who are like involved in these fandoms in different ways and like having actual like full on like deep dives into fandom. So like we're gonna niche down the podcast into like specific stuff, so it's not kind of just all over the place. I still want to do like those, dissecting comic book heroes and villains because that was really fun.
I like them.
And like the anime stuff was popular, so that might still be like a recurring podcast series because people liked having guests come on and talk about like their top animes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the plan is to still do stuff like that, and like I said, the comic stuff has just always been fun. I think it's just like it's more of like it became more of like a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like it was just fun to do. So that might be like just a YouTube thing, like other stuff because it was just fun to do. It was fun to like research all these like stupid heroes or like what was that one?
Don't call Calendar Man stupid.
Yeah, it's a fair point. But what was that one Hero Brigade? It was like the Superior Team or something. We did them on one of the heroes, but it was like they tried to be heroes, but all their powers were like really bad. Like
the Great Lake Avengers.
Yes. We're like yeah. The one guy's power was like
being flat.
Yeah, or like he had like a giant flame. He could like shoot flames, but he had such bad luck from his power that he could only hit allies. Like it would only target allies.
Yes, I recall.
There was a bunch of people, and so there's like stuff that I want to like go back in and like and do more of that stuff. But like it'll be more like sequential. We'll have like time between recordings. Blank Man, what's up, Eric? I'm sure there's someone named Blank Man. I mean, honestly, in this day and age,
sure.
But we're gonna like we'll have time to like record this stuff and actually like edit things like properly to make like cool videos out of it instead of like just trying to churn stuff out. Because I mean, I've been doing this for. Hey, what's up, man? Hope you're having a good night. Hope Loretto's doing good with all the stuff. I think ideally, because I've been doing this 3 years now, like on this show, and then like I've been doing dads for like 2 years. Which speaking of which will be every Thursday is Dad's Anime Stash. Tomorrow's is a weird one. You ever watch Reborn? Or heard of an anime called Reborn? Japanese only.
Familiar.
Like, pretty long lasting. It was like 6 or 7 seasons, but it's Japanese only. Never got. It was like late 90s, early 2000s. It was never like transitioned into like American anime, so it only exists in like Japanese.
Don't worry, my computer's it's thinking.
Yeah, it's like a Hitman baby.
Hitman
trying to like it's I don't know if he's a baby or not, but he's like the size of a baby, and he's like training this guy to be like the next mafia don of their specific family. Like the man, he's like an assassin that was hired to train this kid.
203 episodes.
Yeah, so we were supposed to watch the whole first season. I'll barely make it through like a third of the first season just because I just have not had time the last 2 weeks to watch much anime. It's one of those weird, it's one of those weird animes where, like, I can see the appeal, like I can see why it lasted so many seasons and why people think it's popular. I'm not enjoying it. Like, it's a struggle to watch for me, and it's not because it's like an old anime. Like, I mean, I love you. I'll watch Yu Yu Hakusho, sun up to sundown, G Gundam, all that stuff. I'll watch those anime start to finish. I love older anime. I just can't get past like I'm fine for quirky, but like this quirky doesn't make any sense to me. If you know what I mean? Like it's one of those animes where, like, the weird quirky stuff that the assassin guy is doing, like the powers that they have and
is not hitting.
Yeah, because it's like it's all about like, oh, real life mafia and mafia dons. I'm like, okay, I get it's kind of like that. And then they introduce all these weird things And I'm like, okay, so only the mafia has this weird technology. Like, what? Like, is this like a normal thing? And then like, there's
Is that
never
why
any.
this guy's head's on fire?
Yeah, yeah. That's when he gets shot with the death bullet. Yeah, it's again. There's so many random things where I'm just like, there's got to be something going on here. But anyways, um, but yeah, I've been doing this like 3 years, and like I'll like as we ramp up, I want to go back to like being a guest on other shows, which we have. Have done periodically. We haven't done much of that in a while. Like, because I'll be doing a lot of that when that other project I'm working on with the voice actor heats up, and like we've got most of the script for episode 0 written. We've started on like episode 1 stuff, and so like within the next like month, I'll be like recording dialogue for this show. I think we're not going to do video anymore, just for like we want to do like one show, 2 seasons of it, to see how it goes, and then like ramp up production for future shows and future projects. But for this one show, it's like I know I got to record dialogue, I got to find a character, like I actually have to like practice voice acting for a character, and so like I'll be jumping on a lot of shows to like promote this project, and I'll be promoting like this, like the Phantom Effect, which is another reason for the gap and stuff, because it'll just be easier to do stuff with it. And you're going on vacation for 2 weeks, and so the timing kind of all worked together to be like, I think it's time to like, I mean, we'll still be recording. That's the thing too, is like, even though like we're taking like a full break until like July 22nd, we'll still be recording episodes with guests that we line up until that point. Like, we're gonna come into the relaunch like with a backlog of like at least like half a dozen or so episodes that were recorded. Which is the other big change, is that we'll be going to, at least to start, we will potentially ramp up, but to start, we're going to be doing bi-weekly episodes instead of weekly, so we can actually focus more time on getting the guests, researching certain fandoms, bringing on people, editing videos. Like, it might ramp up as like we suddenly realize, like, because we'll still be recording as much as we can. So if we get to a point where like, holy crap, we have 4 months of backlogged episodes, and we're still releasing bi-weekly, and we have 4 months of saved content, then it might be time for a discussion on like, I think it's time to go back to weekly episodes.
Yeah.
But like, to start, I think going, because when I say relaunch, I mean like full relaunch. Like, I'm gonna go into like the RSS feeds of this show and change all the names just to be like, like OG Phantom Effect or something, just so the RSS feeds are like slightly different. So when I essentially restart like a new Buzzsprout account or whatever with a new show, and I call it the Phantom Effect, I'm not gonna get like hit by like, this show already exists or blah blah blah. So I'm gonna try to do what I can to like specify that it's a full relaunch. If that doesn't work that way, then we'll still essentially be here. We'll still be here. We'll just hide some past episodes, and we'll do, because we're gonna restart with like a new, so July like 22nd, like that week, depending on if we still release on Fridays or not. We might go back to, because I think Friday and Monday is the days that I like, just because it's like beginning of the week, end of the week kind of thing.
Yeah, when we did Wednesdays, it was not hitting for us.
Wednesday was not hitting. I think we might maybe moving to Mondays, when we come back. But regardless, it'll be like Monday or Friday, I think, is my thought for the episode
Sammy
drops. Yeah.
I'll see what day she likes.
See what works better. If you got that whole week to watch it, or do you like the weekend?
Yeah.
To watch it.
Sammy, message me today/tomorrow.
When
you know what I mean. When you hear this, let me know.
Yeah, and so I think it'll just be like, it'll be easier. Like, so regardless of whatever day it is, like Friday or Monday, I'm gonna try to like, it'll be like at episode 0. So like at some point we'll record like a new shorter episode 0, just kind of dictating like who we are, like what the show's about, different stuff that you can expect to see on different platforms, just because it's been such a long time that like we're talking full relaunch. Like obviously the Facebook page and all those socials will still be the same. They'll just have a new logo and stuff dropped in there, but all that will still be there. We're just relaunching everything else related to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was needed though. I think if I've learned anything from doing this for so long and seeing a lot of different shows is that like, if you still want to keep going, your options are like to either like try to change up logos and stuff and like kind of update that way if you're still consistently producing. But like I've noticed that like if you're taking a large gap, it's better it's kind of like with streaming, like you have to essentially come back and acting like you've like like if I start streaming again, yeah, I've got like 1,000 followers or whatever, but like I've been gone for so long that I would just start streaming like I just created the Twitch account and have got one person. So it's essentially the same mentality that we're doing for this relaunch is, yes, we've been doing it for a long time and, you know, like we've done a lot of stuff with the old show, but it's time to like put a stop to like what we were doing and refocus that now that like we know what we're doing with stuff, like after years of learning, where it's like, okay, now we can narrow down and niche down and focus up on like on stuff. And I think it'll be easier overall to get it done.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts on stuff?
Oh, I'm supposed to have those?
I mean, if you want.
Oh. I thought I was just supposed to sit here and look pretty. I thought that's why I was here.
I mean, it is. But
oh, thank God.
You also have good thoughts and opinions. That's the other reason I brought you on.
That's it. As of right now, no. I'm very excited for all this. Truly, I am. It doesn't look like it, but
you had a long day. You've been up since 5 a.m.
I'm so eepy. At work today, I was like, yeah, Cody, just keep talking to me as I'm standing up and I put my hands under my face and I just go. He's like, I know you're not sleeping.
Yeah, I have been there and will be there for the foreseeable future with stuff. But yeah, no, I think it was needed to actually like do anything related to stuff that you want to do for the show. Like it had to happen, or like, because I like not only that, but like we want to actually like post to our socials like Instagram and Facebook and all that, not Twitter because fuck you, Elon Musk. But we actually like post stuff and like do videos and like all that kind of stuff, and it's just like it just became clear it wasn't going to happen if we were like trying to do like this middle ground stuff of like so it just became time to do a full relaunch, reset the show. It's still going to be us. It just was time to reset with stuff. But it'll be good though. It's well needed. It'll be good. Like I said, we're already doing research on logos and intros and outros and stuff. Logos still trying to fine tune exactly what it's supposed to look like.
If you have any ideas, let us know at the Phantom Effect Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, and we will take your thoughts into serious discussion because
we'll have some discussion.
To. Well, yeah. It'll be super fun. But I don't know. I think it'll be good. Everything else has been crazy. But
yeah,
took Cameron to that wrestling show. That was fun. Spent way more money than I was planning to because
you always do.
Cameron wanted, because I got the one autograph on the Uno deck.
I see it. I see the words Uno
from Tyler Breeze, and then like it was like only like $10 more for a picture. So like I did a picture with Cameron.
Only 10? Can't be that.
Yeah, and then he really liked a wrestler by the name of Cole Cabana, who I've met before and is like a super nice guy. And so like I got Cameron like a little wrestling book. And then they did this D&D series called The Critical Botch with a bunch of other AEW wrestlers like way back in the day, and so there was like a comic of that, like a comic book of them playing Critical Botch. Like I bought those two things, and then he gave Cameron a bunch of like free, like little free stuff.
Free.
Yeah, and then Cameron had his favorite wrestler there, like a local indie guy from Wisconsin that Cameron really likes, called Solomon Crow. So shout out to that indie wrestler. And he mostly gave Cameron everything for free, like t-shirt, picture, like all this stuff, because he was like, oh, he's like, I don't charge for kids that are that young.
Let's go. So I got to bring Cameron places.
Yeah, pretty much. And then my buddy Jay Lethal was there, who's been on the show 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And like actually meeting him in person and like being like, do you? And then like I was very like, hey, if you don't remember me, like you don't have to like lie and pretend you like don't. Like I did your Twitch raid video for you a long time ago when you were streaming, and you were on my show a couple times, and he like actually remembered. The thing that really sparked it. Yeah, the thing that sparked his memory, I was like, yeah, and then I was the guy where you were watching my Twitch stream at like 1 a.m, and my son walked downstairs and snuck up behind me on camera, and I didn't see it because I was too focused on the game, and he touched me and it scared the living crap out of me, and I like yelled really loud at 1 a.m, and then you messaged me on Discord and said, haha, that was so funny, I'm sharing that with everyone I know. And he was like, oh yeah, that's the guy that scared you. And I was like, yep, that's him. And he was like, oh man, I sent that to so many other wrestlers and stuff. I was like, cool, awesome,
sick.
But I messaged him, so maybe try to get him on the show again for the relaunch, because now he's been with like AEW and stuff, and so there'll be kind of some cool stuff to talk about if we can get that to work. And there's other stuff. I'm trying to get more involved in the wrestling side of things, just because it's kind of the first main thing me and Cameron bonded over. So I'm reaching out. I'm trying to do more stuff involved with like wrestling interviews and different stuff, just because it's been fun and I'm passionate about it. And yeah, and it'll be super, super fun. But yeah, that show was good. But yeah, that's pretty much where a lot of the money went. Cameron kept wanting this or that, and it was like he had such a fun time last time, and now he's old enough where he knows a couple moves if he sees them. Mainly just anything that Cody Rhodes does from watching WrestleMania together. So he really likes like the Cody Cutter and like the RKO and like classic wrestling stuff.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was fun. That's all I've really done recently, other than like just random parent stuff, and the fact that Cameron's done with school in a week, like just over a week.
Woo!
Yeah, kindergarten done.
Wow.
Yeah. Other than parent stuff, that's been about it. It's been like a chill busy, where it's like I'm always doing something, but it's like stuff that's just kind of like the normal, like I'm working on stuff and trying to do all that stuff.
I feel you. I've been working, schooling, cosplaying. I had a con not this past weekend. The weekend before that was Asen.
Yeah.
So, which my next con's not till Kitsune, so I've got some time, but I'm also going to be gone for 2 weeks. So like.
Yeah, I will also be. If you're listening to this and you live and you're going to Kitsune, I will also be there.
Oh yeah.
That's the one con I do not cosplay at, because I work there, and I'm in charge of media, and this is my first year being in charge of the team. So I could cosplay, like I could definitely dress up and do all the interviews that I do in cosplay. I just haven't, because I don't want to make the guests uncomfortable by being in some weird cosplay trying to interview them.
Darth Revan with the mask on and asking a question.
Yeah, with the mask on, like super mumbled and like thoughts, and they're like, "What the fuck? Like, what'd you say?" I don't. I could, and the con wouldn't care. I just, in general, I just don't like the thought of doing it. But I'll be there. And if you're there and you want to do stuff, come find me and just tell me, because I have to do a bunch of work for the con this year, and even more work for next year, because I think in the next week or so I have to. I don't know. I might be in charge of a bunch of more stuff next year.
Because that's what you need.
Yeah. So much stuff. Well, at least that'll be like very limited. Like I only have to do like a certain amount of stuff periodically, and then I can kind of like
that's okay.
Do whatever.
I'll be more helpful. End of next year.
End of next? Oh, because you're done with school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I don't fail any more classes, I should be done by
should be good.
End of summer.
You'll be good. You got it. One class at a time.
Actually, it's 2 classes at a time.
Well, yeah. But, yeah. But it'll be that'll be good. I mean, yeah, like I said, I do like. Ideally, the plan would hopefully be get involved in bigger cons and then cut out smaller ones.
Aww.
For free work, and then I'll just, pay to go again, or whatever. But like, yeah, because there's cool stuff that I'll be able to do, but I want to do stuff for like bigger cons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But gotta start somewhere.
That small.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? Maybe the other projects and stuff will take off. But that's also the reason for the relaunch, is because like I think we had said it at like our New Year's episode where we were like, we won't say it'll be our year. It'll be a better year, and it has not been. Like the first 6 months have not. First 6 months have not been better. So that's another reason for the relaunch, is like record episodes when we can, but just like be able to kind of chill a little bit. Like we'll still, like I said, we're still going to record episodes with guests, and I'll probably start making a list of like the first couple fandoms to do episodes about, and then like start researching like, okay, who would be a good person to get as a guest. That's not like if we could get a guest for like, let's say example, like let's say Lord of the Rings, and we were able to find someone who was like in the movies, not like, an Orlando Bloom or something, but like somebody, and they were willing to come on and do an episode just talking about Lord of the Rings, then yeah, that'd be great. The odds of an actor wanting to do that, probably pretty slim.
You don't know.
I mean, it's true. You never know. But like, so different stuff. Like there's a bunch of like, really big YouTubers who do like Lord of the Rings lore and stuff like that. So like, I mean, like if we're going to do an episode on something, like I'll try to reach out to the various different bigger people who do shows like about that fandom and try to bring them on to like discuss why they have dedicated so much time to this fandom, blah, blah, blah. And like, so I mean, like we're going to be doing like more in-depth stuff on fandoms, in addition to like interviews about different fandoms. Like they'll be more centered around like, yes, what the guest, like if they're doing like a movie or something, like what they're doing and why, but the interview will be more centered around like who they are and what they're doing, like what they did in their past. I got them to where they are, versus like just asking a bunch of questions about like the project and stuff that they're doing. So like there'll be more interviews focused on like getting to know the person versus the project. So we'll still do those kind of interviews, but I want to do them in a way that makes more sense to people who are just curious about different things versus just, whatever. But yeah, this will air on Friday, and then like last day of May, and then the next episode won't drop until at least July 22nd, which will be like an episode 0, to reintroduce the show for the relaunch, which will have like I said, new intro, new outro, new logo, kind of like resetting the RSS feed on a bunch of stuff. If I can manage to have it work that way. If not, then we'll just release another episode called the new episode 0. It'll just like re-explain the show. Like we'll just essentially not restart the RSS feed, but just start over producing episodes from like an episode 0 standpoint. So that will kind of be the idea for part of it. But we'll keep you guys updated as we get closer to to knowing finalized, but we should be fine by July 22nd. But obviously, if we have to push that back, or if we're able to do it sooner than that, we'll post about it and let you guys know. But we'll be back.
Eventually,
we will be back. It won't be that long.
I don't know. I don't know what Sammy's going to do without us.
Yeah, I might have to still somehow produce content.
For Sammy.
In some small way, just for Sammy. I mean, I technically will for dads every other week. I'll be reviewing different anime.
Care about that.
Yeah, I know.
She only cares about us together like this.
Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe when we know our final date, we'll do like another live show to be like, hey, episode 0 comes out, next week. So here's what we've been up to, and stay tuned for. But yeah, like I said, regardless, I don't think it'll be anything longer than a month and a half, because intro outro stuff, the turnaround is like 2 weeks ish to like, once you know the script and what you want and you send it to the person, it's usually like 2 to 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks to get a new intro and outro done.
Mm-hmm.
And then a new logo will just be like, if we have a artist friend of ours who is free that can do a digital logo.
We do know a lot of them.
Yeah, like I can't imagine that taking more than a couple weeks of like, oh, can you tweak this? We like this, tweak that, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's essentially it. And then it's just recording episodes with guests in the meantime to prepare for the relaunch. So we have at least like, a month or 2 of episodes built up before the relaunch. So we will be back no matter what. Like, it's a guarantee we will be back.
Mm-hmm.
We are shooting for July 22nd. If it does have to be later, it might be just like a week or 2 later. But ideally, we're shooting for end of summer, because it's a summer. People are going on adventures and trips, and numbers would go down anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna kind of take the bulk of the summer to reset, and then we'll be back with new stuff. Tentatively at the end of July. But I'm technically not going anywhere completely, so you guys can still catch me on Dad's Anime Stash every Thursday or every other Thursday, depending on my availability. But it's at least twice a month. Facebook and all that stuff for that show. We just review anime. I don't think my project with the voice actor will be ready by the end of July. Like, so I'm not going to say like, here's the name of the show you could search for, because I don't know if we'll have a teaser ready done by then. We have scripts starting for the first few episodes, but I've never done a full project from the ground up like this, and it's a lot more work than I thought. Having to like script write and then like coordinate script arguments between 2 people, and like talking about like this idea and tweaking this line and like tweaking this character, and like, so I've never done a full project like this, so it's a little more work than I thought. It's fun though. I'm really enjoying getting to be creative in different ways with this. But when that launches, I'll be doing a lot of prep work for that. I've got like a bunch of bigger shows lined up that will bring us on as guests, and so you guys, we'll use this show as a platform to help us grow as well when I'm doing all that work. I probably will start streaming again in the next 2 months, but not until I get caught up on other projects. But if you feel like following me on Twitch, even though I'm not streaming right now, it's twitch.tv/BushidoGeek. Again, not sure when I would start streaming again. Maybe when this show relaunches, I would break out streaming again, just to be able to kind of coordinate stuff like that we did before, when I was like streaming and releasing episodes and stuff, and all that fun stuff. That's it for me. What about you?
Just the normal places you can find me during this off time. I'll be on Instagram. Usually I'm on there. Sam the Man Cosplay. If you don't know that, you really should at this point. Because I will be posting a lot on my stories while I'm in Florida, because that's my happy place. So
that's fair.
Follow me to see all that nonsense. I'll be spending an entire day in Star Wars World. Star Wars
I'm
Land.
jealous. Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. My parents are like, it's time to go. I'm gonna be like,
No, I know.
I'll be here.
Yeah, no, you spend the day there.
I'll be drinking in the cantina.
Yeah, I don't blame you in any way, shape, or form. I would do the exact same thing. If I could. I'll try to start using my Instagram, actually.
You won't.
When I get caught up with stuff. I know that I have it. And I have my account back. It's kind of the same thing with people that are like checking me on, like messaging me on Discord and stuff. I'm like, why are you messaging me on Discord? Like, in what realm of things do you think I'm going to check this?
Right.
But lots of stuff coming up. Like we said, we are not going away for good. It is literally just like a short-term gap to do a full reset so we can be better prepared for the future and all the stuff that we want to do with the show and actually be able to do it in a proper way. Because eventually when I retire, like this show permanently, I'd like to get it to a point where I'm happy enough to like end the show because it ran its course, or we got so successful with other stuff that like we're doing other things with the show instead or something. But I mean, like if this was me like ending the whole brand, like I wouldn't be happy with like how it went overall.
I was like, you planning on retiring already?
Yeah, I meant like I meant like if like down like years down the road, I'm like, all right, I'm done with podcasting because other projects are successful and I'm really focused on those now, or whatever it might be. I want to be happy with like what everything was done as an overall. And if I stop now, I'd be like, man, the last year was not good.
Yeah.
For content and stuff, like I know I can do better, and that's another reason why we're doing this. But we'll be back, like I said, tentatively July 22nd. But if you did make it to the end of this episode, don't worry, we're not going away. So still make sure you follow us on all the socials, the Instagram, the Facebook, email us, whatever it is, because all the socials will still be there. We'll still be staying the same. So keep up to date on all of that stuff, because once we come back, we will actively be posting on all of those things. So
yeah,
if you catch up now, you'll be good to go. But we'll see you guys on the next side of the Fandom Effect with all new stuff.
Whatever side that looks like.
Yeah. So we'll see you when the relaunch hits, and we'll talk to you guys as soon as we can. Bye.
Bye.